Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is the February update for my rolling Project 10 pan. So if you haven't seen the intro video for that, I'll have it linked in the description down below. But basically I picked out 10 products for my makeup collection that I just wanted to use up, or at the very least get more use out of, maybe hit pan on, and it is rolling style. So if I use up a product, I roll in another product from that same category. For me, I'm doing mostly base products for my project this year, with the exception of one lip liner. I talk more about that in the intro video. So if you're interested in seeing my progress, just keep watching. It occurred to me only after filming my January intro video that I could have been using my food scale to weigh these products and have a weight that is just another way of seeing progress. I wish I had thought of that before, but unfortunately I didn't. So I've weighed all of the products now, and so we will have the February weights moving forward to compare to, but hopefully that'll be another way of being able to see progress, especially in some of the products where it's a little bit harder to tell. So if you see me looking down, I have all of my weights here listed in front of me so that I can share that with you. So let's start with the Becca Backlit Priming Filter. This one is weighing 99 grams, and I feel like I see some progress. I mentioned in that intro video that the product does kind of stick to the sides, but I do feel like I've seen a decrease in product in here. I've been using this pretty much every time I've been wearing foundation, so I feel like this one is moving pretty quickly. I'm hoping that by the March update, maybe it will be an empty, or at least very, very close to empty. So I'll insert the footage of what this was looking like in January now. And here's what it's looking like today. So good amount of progress. I think I'll have to look back at the footage to see if I can tell a huge difference between how the bottle was looking then and how it's looking now. But hopefully with some more consistent use, I can go ahead and get this one used up. I do love the primer, but unfortunately Becca Cosmetics went out of business and you can't get this anymore, so I can't recommend it to anybody. And it's also just an older product in my collection, so I want to make sure I'm getting the use out of it before it goes bad. So fingers crossed, in March we will be well on our way to finishing this one. Next up is my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Flawless Foundation, and this one is actually really exciting because it's an empty. So I finished this foundation. You can see I tried to scrape as much as I could from around the sides. You can see that that product is still kind of clinging onto the sides a bit, but I've turned this upside down. I've dug a Q-tip in there and scraped at the sides. I've done pretty much everything I can to get all of the product out. So I'm going to call this one an empty and just sort of pass it along. I feel like that's a very exciting update and a way to start off the year in terms of my project panning with an empty foundation. Granted, it is a mini and it was already well on its way to being empty when I started the project, but still, I feel like having some of those gimme products is really helpful for motivation to keep going. So I'm actually going to be rolling this out today, which means we need to roll in another foundation to the project. So I'm gonna roll in the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Oil-Free Photo Edition Foundation. I have the shade 1N0 Vanille Ivory. Now, this is a pretty thick, pretty matte foundation. If you've seen my recent Instagram stories, you'll know I've been dealing with what is perhaps the driest skin of my life. I think I really overdid it on the actives and the exfoliation and damaged my skin barrier, and my skin's just been so dehydrated. So this is not exactly what I want to be putting on my skin right now. I'm able to make it work though. Today I mixed it with a drop of my face oil. This is the Pharmacy Honey Grail. So if I'm looking a little bit shiny, that's why. It's because I have face oil on with my foundation. But this is a really good winter shade for me, and I don't really have any other base products that match me in terms of my super, super pale winter skin right now. So I'm gonna try to use this and see if I can make it work, but I am gonna give myself an out. So if after February I have tried to work with this and it's just sitting too dry and heavy on my skin, I will allow myself to declutter it. I feel like that's fair because I don't want to have products in my collection that I have a really hard time using or making work, but I want to try it. I want to see if I can get some use out of this before I just let it go. I will say this is another one that I purchased at TJ Maxx kind of on a whim without knowing anything about the foundation. Sorry, my camera was flashing at me and I had to play around with some of the settings. So if things look a little bit different, that's why. But I think I was basically saying that TJ Maxx is my kryptonite, and when I see things discounted there from more higher end or luxury brands, I've had a tendency in the past to just buy them on a whim and not do my research. And so if I had done my research, I probably would have known that the silk cream is notoriously kind of heavier and more full coverage, and I may not have bought it. But since I have it in my collection now, I'm just gonna try to get a few more uses out of it, see if I can make it work. And if I can't make it work, I'll come back to you in March and I'll let you know that it's going to be a declutter and we will just roll something else in. So I hope that makes sense and that you can all understand my dry skin struggles. I'm actually probably going to be bringing in some different products into my collection to try to see if I can find a base product that works better for my super dry, extremely dry winter skin. So look out for a video on that soon. I'm thinking I might do a video about some of the skin tint or tinted moisturizer options at the drugstore because I'm not looking to spend a ton of money right now. So let me know if that would be of interest to you. But in the meantime, I will be working on this Laura Mercier Silk Cream. This is currently weighing 42 grams. So we do have the starting weight for this one. Here's what this product is looking like. Of course, the packaging is solid, so we can't really see a line of demarcation, but we might be able to see the tube kind of get thinner and thinner with use. So I'll leave you in a bit of suspense on that one. When we come back together in March, we will all see whether or not that product has made the cut. Next up is a product that has actually been working really well for my dry skin. This is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I have the shade G11, and this is weighing 48 grams. So this is a super hydrating emollient concealer, which has actually been working pretty well on my super dry and crusty under eyes. So my goal for this was just to hit pan because there's a ton of product in here, and I feel like I have seen the product move down towards the bottom. I'll show you in a minute what it's looking like in here, but I feel like I've seen a little bit of progress. I don't know if the pan is close. I honestly can't tell. So let me insert the footage of what this was looking like last time. And here is what it's looking like now. Just in the viewfinder there, it almost looked like there was a shadow of the bottom of the pan. So maybe we're close, but maybe that was just an illusion. So we will see. If I'm able to hit pan on this, that would be great. I'll probably roll it out, but still keep it around in my collection. But I'm not sure how soon that will be, so we will report back. In the meantime, though, it's been working really well for my dry under eyes. So if you need a concealer rec for that, this is probably the one that I would recommend to you. Then we have my mini Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal. This is weighing 13 grams, and just like with the backlit priming filter, the product does stick to the sides. So again, it's a little bit hard to see progress. I feel like there's less product overall that I can see in the tube, but I'll have to look back at the footage to see what it was looking like last time. So let me insert that now. And here is what this product is looking like today. So I don't know, you'll have to let me know what you see, but it seems like there's even more windowing on the sides of the product than there was. But with highlighter, you're using so little every time. The progress is going to be slow, but that's okay. I think that's where the weight is gonna come in really handy when I come back in March to see if there has been a decrease in weight at all, just because this is one of those products that you're using teeny tiny amounts of at a time. Similarly, I've been working on the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. As my eye primer, this is weighing 16 grams, and this is another product where you're just using such a tiny amount every single time. I actually wanted to get your opinion on this because I said in the intro video, I don't actually know if this works for me as an eyeshadow primer. I feel like it doesn't really do anything to keep my eye makeup on my eyelids. If anything, it almost seems like it just creases. Like it creases right when I put it on, and I feel like, I don't know, I just don't know if this is a primer that works really well for me anymore. So I'm thinking it might be another one that if I come back in March and I'm still not really liking it, I might just declutter it. Let me know your thoughts on that, because I'm just feeling like, why am I continuing to use it if it's not working for me? Let me know. But here is the footage of what this was looking like last month. And here is what it's looking like now. So again, this is weighing 16 grams, not a ton of visual progress in the tube, and not one that I feel particularly attached to. So let me know your thoughts on giving this another try throughout February and maybe decluttering in March. Coffee break. Then we have my Huda Beauty Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream in the shade Fair. This is weighing 75 grams, and I feel like I actually can see a visible difference in the pan. I feel like the product around the edge of the pan has gotten smaller and the pan in the middle has gotten bigger. Obviously, when I started the project, I already had pan in this, so it's just about expanding that pan. But you all will have to let me know if you see a big difference. Here's what it was looking like in January. And here's what it's looking like now. So I feel like there's been a decent amount of progress made here. I've used this every time I've done my makeup, and I'm wondering how long this is gonna last me. There is so much product in here. I mean, I've had this for, I don't know, a year and a half at least by now, and it's still going strong. A little bit does go a long way, but I'm just wondering, like, I don't know, how long do you think it'll take me to finish this up? 3 months maybe? Maybe I could have it out by the summertime. We'll just have to see. But if there was that much progress from January to February, I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to look like in March. Okay, we're on the home stretch. So I've been working on 2 Kosas brow products. The Brow Pop Pencil, that's always so hard for me to say. The Brow Pop Pencil in the shade Medium Brown, and the Air Brow in Clear. So the Brow Pop is weighing 12 grams. Obviously, this is the only brow product I've been using for the entire month of January. And I will roll the product all the way up so that you can see the difference from last month to this month. Here's what it was looking like in January. And here's what it's looking like now with the pencil rolled up completely. So there's really not that much left in here. I feel like, I don't know, this could be another one where the progress could start to go pretty quickly here at the end. This is a fine brow pencil. I'm not sure I would repurchase. I'd probably just pick up a brow pencil from the drugstore because I personally don't find there to be too much differentiation between the more expensive brow pencils and the drugstore pencils these days. So we'll see how much progress I can make on this. And then for the Air Brow, this is weighing 20 grams. I mentioned this in the intro, but I just hate the way that this looks when you put it over a brown pencil. A clear gel is always going to take on that brown color, but maybe I'm just someone who, I don't want to see it. Like, I would just prefer the packaging to be solid so that I can't see how gross the brow gel looks. But it is good packaging for seeing progress. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of progress in this. There's a lot more windowing on the sides of the product. So here is the footage of what this was looking like last month. And here's what this is looking like today. I think that the holographic packaging is making that hard for you to see, so I'm not sure how helpful that up-close shot was, but I definitely see a difference on the sides. Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to getting this one used up and not having to look at it anymore. Another one that I'm excited to not have to look at anymore is this Kosas Cloud Set powder. Not a bad powder, but my packaging is broken and I don't know, it bothers me. It bothers me that the packaging broke. I don't know, it's left a bad taste in my mouth, even though the powder is fine. It's not a bad powder, good for dry skin. I don't know, I feel like I've seen progress in this. I feel like the dome that the powder comes in, I feel like I've kind of flattened that out a bit more this month. I'll have to check the footage back from last time. So let me insert that now. And here's what it's looking like today. So I'm not sure how well you can see with my lighting situation, but I feel like the dome has gone down significantly. Some of the kind of scratches in there from when the packaging broke, I feel like they've smoothed out a little bit. So I feel like I'm seeing progress with this, but I am looking forward to the weight change for next time to actually see how much product is being used up over the course of a month. And I'm just trying to be really careful with this in the meantime and not drop it and keeping it safely in my drawer so that hopefully it doesn't shatter everywhere. And finally, the last product I've been working on is my MAC Whirl lip liner. This is weighing 3 grams and I think I've only sharpened it once since the last update, but it's looking pretty dull right now. So let me insert the footage from January. And here's what it's looking like now. So it might have gotten a tiny bit shorter. I probably should have sharpened it for this update because I feel like sharpening takes off some of the product too, and I'll need to sharpen it for the next time that I use it. But yeah, not a huge amount of progress on a lip liner. It's another one of those things that I typically just use a tiny bit of because I only put it on once a day. I don't typically reapply my lip liner, although I could if I wanted to make faster progress with this. But that is everything. That's the update on my rolling Project Tin Pan. I'm excited to roll out a foundation and roll in a foundation. Again, we'll just have to see how this goes for the month of February to see if I can make this foundation work. Let me know your thoughts about the Too Faced Shadow Insurance as well. Are we keeping products that we feel like don't really work for us? I just don't know. I just don't know if that's the vibe for 2023. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like this might be the year where if something's not working, we just let it go. Let me know your thoughts. So thank you so much for tuning into this update. If you would like to see more of my monthly panning project updates, please make sure to subscribe. Like the video if you liked it. The next video I post should be my palette panning project updates, so look out for that one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!